And Melinda, as you were just watching that special report, President Trump addressing the nation about the ongoing situation in Iran, confirming the U.S. will continue to send resources to that region. This was his first time giving remarks since the U.S. and Israel made strikes on Iran. Of course, we'll be covering this in depth. You can find updates on our website extensively on clickorlando.com throughout the day. Meantime, let's get to our forecast here. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos, we had some low visibility this morning. Has that moved out of the way? And we might even see some rain later on.
Yeah, and right now we're talking crystal clear blue skies at some of our locations. Interesting enough, our clear skies right now are along the coastline as we're continuing to see that sea breeze pretty much scrub all the skies, pushing the cloud cover further inland at this point. Not a whole lot, still fair weather clouds at this point, 77 at OIA. Kissimmee right now also holding at 77. Now along the coastline, it's still a warm day. We're in the mid 70s, but as that sea breeze kicks in, you guys will be staying in the mid 70s, while further inland, we'll be really warming things up. Right now, we are running between 3 and 6 degrees warmer at this point than yesterday. But as you can see, radar sweeps are going around, really not picking up any rain at this point in time. But as Lauren mentioned, a little bit more rain could be possible across our southern zones, but we're really going to start noticing more daily sea breeze shower activity on the radar over the next couple of days. Coverage goes up to about a 40 to 50%. We'll be timing out the rain as well as a look at those temperatures for the rest of the week coming up in minutes.
All right, Chief, thank you. In just a few hours, the person accused of shooting and killing a man, this is outside of an Orlando nightclub. He's expected in court. This happened 8 days ago outside of Savoy nightclub. It's off Orange Avenue. That suspect is expected to ask the judge for bond. Your Orlando community correspondent Mike Valenti has details about a hearing that's expected to include some never-before-seen video.
A week later, flowers still adorn this sidewalk along North Orange Avenue, paying tribute to Julian Cruz. The man who Orlando police say killed Cruz will be in court Monday, as his attorney is previewing a self-defense argument.
We have gotten a lot of discovery in from the state over the weekend, so we have a feel for what's going on.
That attorney is Mark O'Mara, well known for defending clients like George Zimmerman. And last week, he was retained by John Gabriel Borja Gil de la Madre. And one of O'Mara's first actions on behalf of his new client was filing this, a motion to set bond, arguing that Borja Gil de la Madre, quote, poses no probability of danger to the community in which he lives.
As you'll see the video tomorrow, there was no aggression in the way my guy approached him.
Speaking to us Sunday before visiting his client in the Orange County Jail, O'Mara revealed that surveillance video from a nearby business captured the incident in question. It's grainy, O'Mara says, but compelling. You're contending that appears to validate your argument that this was self-defense.
Yes.
Orlando police said its investigation showed that Borja de la Madre and the 33-year-old Cruz were involved in a verbal and physical fight on the sidewalk before Borja Gil de la Madre got a gun from his vehicle and shot Cruz. But in his motion arguing that his client is entitled to a reasonable bond, O'Mara writes, there is significant evidence of self-defense.
Got into a fight, knocked him down. He got up and went to the car. And then the two people, at least two, maybe three, went to the car after him.
Meanwhile, as you can see, people continue to pay their respects to Julian Cruz. Now, management at Savoy Orlando took to Facebook last week to say they're heartbroken by what happened. And although the shooting did not unfold inside Savoy, they stand ready to cooperate with law enforcement. I'm News 6's Mike Valenti, your Orlando community correspondent. Back to you.
Mike, thank you. $50,000. That's what two people who work in Dunellen are asking for. This is for a class action lawsuit after all of this fire we showed you a couple weeks ago. It broke out at the beginning of last month. It caused major concerns in the city. So here's the deal. The fire started in a large stockpile of railroad ties. This was near East McKinney and North William Street. That happened February 1st. Worries began as those ties were treated with a material that can become toxic when it's burned. The company who owns those ties, CSX Rail, says they're going to get that issue fixed, but that was about 3 weeks ago. This new lawsuit is on behalf of anyone who has property, lives, or works within 30 miles of that fire. A meeting is planned for tonight where officials are expected to talk about this cleanup. Of course, we'll keep you updated. Well, in just over an hour, another hearing is set in the case against suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. He is accused of running an illegal gambling operation that brought in more than $600,000. Several co-defendants, including his wife, have agreed to plea deals. Lopez has not, as he awaits trial. That hearing is set for 1:30. Of course, we'll bring you the very latest updates here on air and on clickorlando.com. 12:07 and a tax hike decision, that is what you could be making in November. The Orange County Board of Commissioners talking about an infrastructure surtax today. They're deciding if they want to add it to the November ballot. Now remember, the last time something similar happened in 2022, it was rejected. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez in Orange County with what you need to know.
4 years ago, voters said no to a surtax just for transportation projects. But some commissioners feel that this tax, which would pay for more than just infrastructure, will be more appealing to voters.
Timing is going to become really, really important.
In January, Mayor Jerry Deming saying timing is crucial when it comes to implementing a surtax. Now the commission will discuss putting one in front of voters. It would fund land acquisition for environmentally sensitive lands, parks, trails, and outdoor recreation, stormwater management, transportation infrastructure, and more. County leaders explored a surtax in 2022 just for transportation projects, and in a 59-42 vote, residents rejected it. Commissioner Nicole Wilson said this one is more appealing because it addresses a lot more issues voters care about.
Very different when we're talking about quality of life investments.
Today, the board will review research on how people feel about the tax after they were surveyed. And based on what voters told us during the first commissioners' meeting on this, opinions may vary.
We do desperately have a need to improve our infrastructure, our mass transit in Orange County, because we are growing every single year.
They have taken so much money out of the taxpayers. Every time is something different. When it's not for the transportation, the buses, it's for anything else that they dream about.
The county commissioners will be getting the full survey results during a special meeting happening at 1 o'clock today. Reporting in Orange County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. 9 minutes past the hour. Further action today from Melbourne High School's principal to try and keep students from vaping. So this time it's going to include metal detectors. Remember last month, several bathrooms at the school were closed, again, to try and monitor these students and make sure that they were not using those devices. The principal told parents in an email 4 of the school's 11 restrooms would stay locked. And starting today, again, those handheld metal detecting wands, those will be used as an option to search students. We did talk with parents about these restrooms when they were first closed. They say this plan is punishing the wrong people.
I don't think that the kids that need to use the bathroom should be punished. I think they should go after the students that are vaping and find the vapes, because kids are going to vape anywhere.
So we're continuing to follow this story. Of course, we'll bring you the latest updates for you right here on air and on clickorlando.com. Well, stop signs put in over Dovera Drive near Oviedo Mall last year, and now leaders want to make them permanent. Coming up, the vote leaders are taking tonight. That could mean a big change for your drive around Oviedo. And before we let you go, a quick live look from our Mount Dora cam. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
All right, happening today, leaders in Oviedo are set to sign off on a change that could impact your next drive around the mall. So we know temporary signs were put up. This is on Dovera Drive after corrosion ate through the base of those traffic lights there. Well, now the city wants to make those stop signs permanent. Your Seminole County community correspondent Mark Lehman is getting reaction to this plan.
People living here in Oviedo tell us it's an eyesore that's led to some dangerous situations. They say ever since temporary stop signs were put in place at this intersection, some drivers don't stop. They're now hoping the city's permanent solution will improve safety.
But I would love to get rid of this eyesore that they've got, the Bob's barricades and the 17 stop signs. It's ridiculous looking.
For more than a year, drivers have been seeing bagged up traffic lights, barricades, and several stop signs at Dovera Drive and Oviedo Mall Boulevard. It was a temporary fix after corrosion ate through a post in one of the signals. Now the city appears to be moving forward with something more permanent. What do you think about this plan?
Well, I just think that if they leave the stop signs, what we notice all the time is people just run the stop signs. They just run the stop signs.
On Monday, the Oviedo Council is voting to approve a $133,000 project removing the old traffic lights and installing highlighted solar-powered stop signs.
Something is lighting up. People take notice of that more than just a stop sign.
The city deciding to stick with stop signs after they tell us an analysis showed there was low traffic flow through the intersection.
I would say it's not. It's very busy, and it's going to be busier if they continue building in this area.
People we spoke with have concerns the stop signs won't be enough to keep up with the area's growth, but as the plan appears to be moving forward, they hope drivers will pay more attention.
We just keep our eyes open. Yeah. Just keep our eyes open for cars running the stop signs.
Now, the city has not laid out a timetable for how long this project could take. Commissioners, however, will be voting to approve the plan during their meeting that's set for 6:30 tonight. In Oviedo, I'm your Seminole County community correspondent, Mark Lehman, News 6.
You see that weather behind Mark, how nice and clear it was? It is more of that today. We had a comfortable morning. It seems like a brand new month, means the start of a beautiful forecast. How long can we expect this, Chief?
Listen, at the end of the day, Lauren, it does look like we're going to continue to stay on this warmer setup, especially as we head into spring break. So I know a lot of families are watching very closely because every year it feels like spring break is either a big blast of cold air or it gets very warm. I really do think we're going to be trending on the warm side of things. All right, let's talk about what to expect. Speaking of a warm trend, it's going to continue to warm up today. Technically, I guess you can say that it's the coolest day of the week, as highest day will be nearing 80. Throughout the rest of the week, we're going to get back into those mid to even upper 80s. So every day it's going to be a little staircase gradually climbing up. So will our rain chances, actually. It will start to look a little bit more like a summer-like pattern. Now, we're not talking about the same levels of humidity and rain, but still that daily dose of a quick moving downpour or two along that sea breeze can't be ruled out. So after today, our coverage goes all the way up to about 30 to 50%. You'll really notice the difference, though, on the 7-day in just a second. All right, temperatures out the door. You can be tracking the temperatures. You could even be tracking a little bit of rain today, especially throughout the afternoon. Our News 6 weather app, it is free to download. Just search WKMG wherever you get your apps from. But you can see right now we're already in the upper 70s, 75 in New Smyrna, 77 up and down the I-4 corridor there between Orlando and Kissimmee. Now, just do be aware that as we head into the afternoon, that sea breeze is slowly going to start nudging its way further inland. That's going to keep you guys along the coastline in the mid-70s, but it will still allow temperatures to near 80 degrees this afternoon. So now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
All right, your highs today, again, back into the upper 70s to low 80s. Again, we are going to continue to keep those temperatures a touch cooler along the coastline. Then later on tonight, this is going to be something pretty exciting if you want to wake up maybe a little earlier. At least it's a little more of a convenient time, right? We're talking about a total lunar eclipse. This is what we officially call the blood moon, as it's a full moon. And as the moon passes through the Earth's shadow, it'll get that bright, kind of dark, orangey red color. So that's where it gets the name, right? So as you can see, it does look like the total eclipse will begin around 6:04. It will be at its peak, or the maximum eclipse, around 6:34 in the morning. Last year was around 2:30 in the morning, so at least 6:30 is a little more tolerable if you want to check that out. No special glasses or anything needed, right? So as we look here at our lows later on tonight, upper 50s to low 60s. And then we're going to start ramping up those rain chances as we head into your Tuesday. You can see by Tuesday afternoon, we will start to see more scattered showers, coastal rain, afternoon showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm can't be ruled out. But notice it's just a steady flow. And that big ridge of high pressure is going to continue basically to pick up any moisture and bring it across the area. But it will be warm enough that as that sea breeze develops, we'll develop a couple scattered showers. But speaking of the warm up, it looks like this certainly is going to be the name of the game, even as we head into the middle of March, which is spring break. And don't forget, we spring forward, though, as we go to bed Saturday night.
All right, Chief, thank you. Make sure if you want to take that forecast with you, open your camera app, scan that QR code on your screen right now. Go ahead and click that link. We'd love to see your weather pictures and videos. They could end up on TV. You can also go to clickorlando.com/pins and upload your pictures and videos that way as well. So to come, 3 decades of education right on your television started here in Central Florida. After this, where you can see a piece of Mr. Rogers' neighborhood at the school its star attended. And coming up tonight, data testing might sound boring, but volunteers in Central Florida, they're giving it an interesting spin.
This is reading the dissolved oxygen in the water.
How volunteers are turning the Wekiva Springs State Park into a living, breathing lab. And here's another quick live look at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You are watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back. Honor Rollins College's most famous alum, Mr. Rogers. He is back today. A special self-guided walking tour runs today through March 31st. That tour begins at the Olin Library. A few items on display include his sweater, his sneakers, the collection of his books, his yearbook, and even some photos. Again, it's all to celebrate what would have been Fred Rogers' 98th birthday. Well, runners took to the Disney parks yesterday for the Disney Princess Half Marathon. Two-time Olympian Des Linden won the women's race in 1 hour and 16 minutes. Caleb Belmont, not far. He was from Tampa. He won the overall, followed by Jorge Cruz from Austin, Texas. Now, runners took off through Epcot. They went around Magic Kingdom, finished back at Epcot. We know the next race up on the Run Disney schedule is the Springtime Surprise Weekend. That is scheduled from April 16th to 20th. We'll check out our primetime lineup on News 6 Plus. Matt and Ginger have a new take on the day's news. That's on News 6 tonight at 9. Meteorologist Jonathan Keges answers your weather questions at 9:30. And then watch the late news an hour earlier. Again, it's all tonight on News 6 Plus. And we invite you to download our streaming app for free. All you have to do is search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Again, before we let you go, another beautiful live look. Launch Credit Union Port Cam at Port Canaveral this time. You're watching News 6 at noon. We're back in just a few minutes. All right, the chief is back with some good news. We're starting this month in a fairly, I would say, normal pattern.
Right. And a lot of people are switching their brains to spring break. Who isn't, right? We are talking about warming throughout the rest of the week and even into the weekend. Don't forget, we do lose that extra hour of sleep. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we are going to get a little bit more rain in the forecast throughout the week, and that kind of continuous rain, a little more moisture in the air, is really helping our fire danger. Although we still need the rain, at least the danger is not as high as it was last week.
Look, at this point, any rain's good rain, so let's take it, friends. Let's just deal with it. All right, have
a
great day. We will not on spring break. We will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.